one and all to another premium spirits review as we review Balvenie Speyside Scotch whiskey. Now, Tony and I have it's a very light, friendly competition because in the end we're all winners in this one.
That's true.
I am a lover of the Highland malts, particularly the sherried malts.
That's
you
fair.
are a lover and have enjoyed Speyside Scotch whiskey for years. I mean,
That's not to say we don't dabble on either side.
yes, but if I were given my preference, it's kind of like if you're going to be on a desert island for a year and you could only take Highland or Speyside, I would probably be inclined to say Highland. You would probably be more inclined to say Speyside. Is that fair?
Depends on the brand, but yes, for the most part.
Okay, so, but now, this is Tony's attempt to bring me over to the Speyside. Yes, I've been holstering that one for a while. Balvenie is a marvelous scotch by every review. I've never had it before, so...
I have not sampled it either. This one's been sitting on my shelf for at least a month. The 14, that is. You've actually picked up a sampler.
Yes, it had... The sampler had a 12-year Doublewood, which is aged in 2 different types of oak for 12 years. I'm guessing that means French oak and American ex-bourbon casks.
Okay.
That's my guess. Then we've got this marvelous Caribbean rum cask finished 14 years, which is 1 year shy of your preferred aging.
Just shy.
And then we've got a Doublewood 17 year, which I'm going to let Tony read that. Like, you almost need a magnifying glass for that one, but
It's a sampler.
I'm looking forward to try. And the reason I got all the glasses out is so we can kind of compare the noses to each other without, So let's...
We're starting off with the 12.
Yes.
Okay, would you like me?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. The Balvenie Doublewood matured in 2 distinct casks, aged 12 years. Balvenie Doublewood acquires its complex yet rich and smooth taste from its maturation in 2 different types of oak casking.
My goodness.
Well.
Yep, only one way to know. Better give it a shot.
Go ahead.
Slide your glass over here, sir.
Been looking forward to these. Oh.
There we are.
Oh,
all right.
Goodness. Balvenie 12.
Hit the nose.
Oh, goodness. Well,
we
could just stop here.
Yeah, there is a bourbon influence, but like there's a different wood, and that might be the French oak. I don't have a lot of experience with French oak.
I see what you mean with the
We've
bourbon.
only had it with Glenlivet.
I see what you mean with the bourbon, but I'm getting a lot of vanilla notes there. I
think that's what we reported in the Glenlivet as well.
Yeah. It's not overbearing by any means. It's a very subtle bourbon, vanilla, sweetness.
Now let's see how.
Not a lot of honey notes, but I can see where one would go that direction.
See how that's the palate, sir.
Oh, spicy on the end.
But not burn.
It doesn't
burn like alcohol. It's just got a spice.
Very, very, very spicy on the end. But you're right. No, not an alcohol burn. Just a nice, spicy finish. Very warm. Oh, I really like that.
This would be a good wintertime drink.
Yeah.
Like,
agree 100%.
If it was below 0,
wow.
This would be top shelf. Because it doesn't burn you. It warms you the whole way down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is still...
It's got a nice warm glow to it.
Honeyed, sweet Speyside.
It's not... But the honey's not the most...
No.
The honey is not the most loud of tasting. It's the vanilla.
On the nose and palate.
Yeah. The honey is there, but it is not the overpowering taste, which is nice.
Oh, boy.
Because honey is so easy to go to. But now that I am Smelling it again,
Now,
the honey's
do we
indistinguishable.
grade here, or do we get them all in the glass and compare them side by side and grade them? I'll let you decide on that, sir.
Well, I drank about half of it, so...
So I guess we better grade it here.
yeah.
You enjoy that. Okay. All right. As a single malt scotch.
As a single malt, I enjoy that a lot. I didn't know the 12 was going to be this
Good.
good. I'm going to give that a 3.75. I really like that.
3.75.
Yeah, that's very, very nice.
As a single malt, I'm gonna agree with you on 3.75. It's an excellent single malt
Really
scotch.
good. I will put a bit aside, though.
As a scotch, comparing it to all the other scotches,
The first
the
taste...
blended and single malts,
Okay.
and single grains.
The first taste, I'll be honest, was a lot more overpowering than the second. You get familiar with it on the first taste, and then the second you're okay, and you let it in, and you pretty much accept it, and it is marvelous. And I'll give that a 3.5 on a Scotch. I like that.
I'm gonna stick with 3.75 on the Scotch scale.
Can't argue.
This would be an excellent introductory, but there are some that you'd want to. Me personally, as a lover of the Highlands, there's
Okay.
Dalmore. That's just me. That's me. But this particular one, excellent 3.75. I could not complain.
No, this is marvelous.
As a brown spirit,
3.25.
3.25.
I would never even remotely consider cocktailing this or cooking with this, but this is one I could see maybe on ice on the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
You could definitely splash a little bit of water in there and open it up a bit, but I don't know. I like the initial flavor itself as it is raw. I don't know that I would consistently cut this and open it up because I like it as it is.
Understandable, and also you can't see it on the camera, I don't think, but this whiskey's got marvelous legs.
Yes.
I disagree with on the cooking. I think this would
Okay.
actually lend itself quite well to that, but I understand. So I'm going to give it 3.5. That's where I'm going to land on with this.
Okay.
Just because I think, yes, it'd be good on the rocks. I know you don't agree with it, but I think it would be good as a cooking whiskey if you're going to make it your own variant of Gaelic steaks.
It would.
But
Okay, you're right.
I would not cocktail it.
It's got enough honey and vanilla flavors that you're right. It would work for that. You got to open up the checkbook to do your cooking with this to justify it.
Very
I'd
chill.
much rather sit back and enjoy this. This is marvelous.
I'm just judging strictly on flavor
I'm going to
profile.
keep just a hint of this to
Just
the
for
side.
nosing
Yes.
purpose.
Yes.
Give me the that while you read
All right.
the marvelousness that makes up this.
The Balvenie 14-year Caribbean Cask. The traditional crafts of malt whiskey making still flourish at the Balvenie Distillery. The Balvenie Distillery has been owned and managed by the same independent family company for 5 generations. The 5th rare craft is that of malt master. David Stewart, over 50 years of expertise, enables him to skillfully use different types of cask and different ages of spirits to craft the Balvenie range of single malts. Each expression has 2 distinctive tastes, but all share a rich, honeyed character. Nowhere else will you find a distillery that still grows its own barley, still malts in its own traditional floor maltings, and still employs a team of coopers of trend that all casks and coppersmith to maintain its stills. Well, after all that,
Just put that up to your nose, T.
Okay.
Just do it. Just silence your mouth and put it to your nose. Yes. Like I said, silence your mouth.
yeah.
Put it to your nose.
Okay, so
I'm
12.
not getting any rum. I'm just getting honey.
No, I'm getting rum. I'm absolutely getting rum.
Well, I'm just getting honeyed sweetness. Like, I understand if you are getting it, but I'm I've had some rum aged stuff.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
I get more honey on the 12. The honey's there, but I'm getting...
This is so subtle.
It is a much more subtle fragrance on the nose, but
Just curious.
you really
Same
got to...
smell out of the big bottle.
Yep. It's there, though. You're right, the honey, but it's...
This is subtle. This is a lot more subtle than
I don't want to say floral, but...
almost perfuming.
Fruits and perfume. Yes, you're right.
Well, let's see how it hits the palate.
Okay. Well.
A little hot on the finish, but...
Oh, yeah. Not a spicy finish, but yeah, a floral hot finish.
Huh. That's unique.
It is. That's a different... The beginning, the front, is almost indistinguishably soft. Like there's nothing there on the front.
And then it's some spicy on the back.
That snowballs.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It's a snowball whiskey.
Yeah, that snowballs into a much richer flavor. Wow, but yeah, I can absolutely see why they say Caribbean Cask, because there are... Oh, yeah, there's an explosion of flavor there about 3/4 of the way through that really
It ain't up front.
sets itself apart, because that front taste is not overpowering. You get a nice Scotch flavor, like you said, the honey and the sweetness.
Yeah, subtle honey, and that was about all.
And then it kind of blooms.
Yes. So, as a single malt Scotch, what do you grade the 14-year Caribbean Cask aged for Balvenie?
I gotta tell you, that a little bit of butter, honey. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna go 4. I really like this a lot.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna.
that's one I would seek out.
I'm gonna stick 3.75, but for entirely different reasons.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like
No, go ahead.
They're two. Well, no, they're these two whiskeys. Both I'm ranking as single malt Scotch at 3.75, but for two entirely different. Yeah, just two different profiles, two different reasons.
Okay.
As a Scotch.
As a Scotch, I'm going to go 3.75. I think this stands up very, very, very well against a lot of them that I've kind of put in my personal favorite. I could see myself ranking this pretty highly as far as personal favorites, and I think this one's complex enough. I think it's got enough singularities that I really like this a lot. The 12 is marvelous, but I think the 14 is one of those that sets itself apart in a unique enough way. I would enjoy it opposed to something else if I'm in the right mood.
You will seek that out.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I'd seek out the 12 as well, but something about the 14, I think it is very much that Caribbean flavor that sets it apart.
As a Scotch, I'm going to give it 3.5 because I would not introduce somebody to Scotch with this.
That's fair.
Because the back flavor is going to be very disorienting to somebody that doesn't know their Scotch.
That's true.
This is a Scotch aficionado Scotch. This is not for the faint of heart. So
No, you're right. You're right.
But I'm going in for another sip.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. It's deep. You dig deep into this one, and it changes. And if you introduce somebody with this, they're going to expect a lot of different levels of complexity, and it's not there for most Scotches like it is for this. That's very nice, which I appreciate a lot.
Brown spirits.
Brown spirit, I would not cocktail this. I would not cook with this. I agree. I would cut this with water. I actually take that back. I don't know that I would even bother cutting it with water. I would just plunk one single ice cube in this, and I think if this were cold, it may have a completely different palate.
I bet you're right. I bet,
Yeah, I think so.
I bet this one would be worth a second look.
I think
based
this
on
is a
just
second
that
taste.
At some point.
I think this one's a
taste?
second taste. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So what do you rate it as a brown spirit?
As a brown spirit, 3.5.
3.5.
Yep.
I'm gonna agree with everything you said. Probably a little more than you even said. So
Yep.
I'm gonna give it 3.25 as a brown spirit
Okay.
because I would not cocktail it. I
There you go.
wouldn't cook with it because it's so specific. It's meant to be enjoyed as a drink. So.
Yes.
Now, we actually didn't put shelving for the 12 or the 14, so controversy.
Well, no, there's no controversy here for me. So far, this brand, the Balvenie, has completely met my expectations. I reserve my top shelf for only the finest of Irishes and the best Scotch. And I don't buy Scotch that I don't like. And this absolutely meets my requirements for a top shelving. Both of them. The 12 and the 14. And I don't see a lot of discrepancy for the next installment, so...
I'll be honest with you. This is controversy here.
Okay.
The 14 and the 12 would be on my middle shelf.
Well, okay. Full discrepancy. That's because you're so full up on the Dalmore on your top shelf.
Yeah, my top shelf is pretty full of Dalmore.
It is.
Tony, would you please read this lovely, luscious deliciousness to the people right in the microphone?
We
sir.
dip into the Balvenie 17 Doublewood. Okay. I'm a little nervous for this one because usually the age statement increases how much we enjoy it, but...
Smell first and read. Just smell.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like a bouquet of flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, so read.
Forgive me.
Are you wiping a tear?
A little bit. During maturation, the Balvenie Doublewood is transferred from a traditional whiskey oak cask to European oak sherry cask, thereby acquiring character from each. This second cask aging is at the heart of the Balvenie Doublewood, and at 17 years of age, it is sweet with dried fruits, toasted almonds, and spice, layered with toffee notes, oak, and vanilla.
That just sounds...
Yeah, it just sounds terrible. I'll just take it.
No, that's yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So, give it a nose, sir.
After reading that, I smelled it, I read that, and there was a bit of a flavor in my nose that I didn't want to say, but now it's there, and
there's like a nutty, whiny loveliness.
Those at the Balvenie,
you know your shit.
you do, and there's a small fragrance on my nose that I almost hate bringing up, but yeah, that toasted marshmallow idea. If you're out sitting by a lake, maybe making some s'mores with your kids, a fiery sweetness, a burnt sweetness, if you will.
Yep, it's like the toffee.
Yep.
But I could see, because you were probably just making s'mores with your kids within the last, week. So,
Yep, I was out at the lake, so that
and now that you bring that up, I can't not...
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Which, boy howdy, let me tell you, that's just awful when your whiskey
terrible.
reminds you of,
chocolate
s'mores,
and graham cracker.
S'mores on a campfire, that's just...
what a horrible review.
So, Tony, I think we need... So far, it's like a 4.5 to 5 star.
I will say, though, that this is the booziest smelling of the three.
I'd say it was that one.
I think
That's
this
just
one.
me.
I think
That's
this
just
one.
me. All right. Well, let's see down the hatch, sir. What the fuck?
Oh.
What the fuck?
Well.
Why? Why is whiskey allowed to be that good? What? Okay, I'm glad.
Well, that's just marvelous.
What? Okay, I need to take another sip to make sure that.
No, I'll just take it for you. So that's that.
That's amazing.
So 17 years is apparently really damn good. That double casking, wow. I'm a fan of that.
Well, I'm a big fan of sherried malts, as you know.
Yeah.
This is one. And they pulled this off. This is amazing. This is...
Okay, so let me do this one more time, and I'll just roll through it.
Yes.
I'll just roll through it. A bit of a boozy note, which not in a bad way by any means. Sweetness. The honey's way in the background. You get a bit of that wood. And then vanilla toffee. It's mellow. It rolls off your tongue. Butter. It settles. It's not even remotely spicy on the back end. It's not hot. It's not warm.
So smooth.
It settles on the back of your throat so smoothly that you will dive back in for another taste without even realizing that you're just drinking straight whiskey. I would not put this over the rocks. I would not put this with ice. I wouldn't cut it with water. I would probably slap somebody if they use this for cooking or mixing. No, that's perfect, neat.
Yep.
Never do anything different. Wow.
Yeah, that one, like, I'll be honest.
Wow.
You were really impressed with it. These two somewhat underwhelmed me. This one has blown me away. The 17
marvelous.
Blew me the fuck away.
That's marvelous.
So, okay.
Wow.
As a single malt scotch, how do you rate this?
That's a 4. That is a 4, hands down.
I'm going to disagree because this is a 4.25 as a single malt scotch. And you know I'm kind of tough to...
You know what?
Now, maybe it's because it's a sherry malt.
You're right. I'll go there. You're right. 4.25. I was holding back.
Yeah,
I was holding back, but no, I can't.
No, this deserves it.
Yep.
4.25. Here's, as a scotch, introducing someone to scotch.
I would never want to introduce somebody to scotch with this because this is a
Scotch.
boss battle of scotch. You want to achieve this. You want to work your way up the ladder of scotch to get to something like this. Yeah, if you start somebody out on scotch with this, you will absolutely ruin them. They will expect this level of craftsmanship with every scotch, and it just will not be there. That's outstanding.
So where do you rate it as a scotch, sir?
I want to say 4. 4.25. 4.25. I really like it. I can't go lower than that. 4.25.
The problem with this scotch is if you introduce somebody to it, they won't be, I drink scotch. They will be a person that says, I drink Balvenie 17.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So that's why I'm going to agree with your score of 4.25. So this is a spectacular scotch. Brown Spirits. The infamously hard to please Tony G in Brown Spirits.
This is a tough one because a lot of complexities here. A lot of great flavors, a lot of great nosing. But if anybody did anything other than dump this in a glass a little at a time and enjoy it a little at a time, you're basically doing a disservice to yourself.
It's true.
I don't know why anybody would do more than a little bit of sip at a time to really enjoy that. And it would be a shame if they did anything otherwise. So I will give this a 3.75 on a brown spirit. Because I can see somebody going overboard with it.
You're right. It needs to be maybe on the rocks. Maybe. Really, at best, a few drops of water. Mm-hmm. A few drops of cool water. That's really all it really needs.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is one of those you can just drink straight.
You would never
I'm still going to go 4. I know.
I get it. I get
it's
it.
amazing as
You
a
could do it.
Scotch. And the other two, the 14 and the 12, are on my middle shelf. But this 17 is definitively
Yeah,
top shelf, which it takes a lot
hands down.
to break into my top shelf. And there's only
Yeah.
2 bottles of Speyside that make it to my top shelf. And
I think that
now there's 3.
that alone says enough, because the 14, the 12, I would definitely probably put up there, but the 14 has been on my top shelf without even trying it. It's going right back up there. The 12 would definitely go up there. The 17,
Yeah.
that's
Ridiculous.
That's insanely good. I can't say enough good about that. And if you're standing, let me just put it to you this way, folks. If you are walking the aisles of your local liquor store trying to find a scotch that would speak to a large group of people.
Smell the first one now. It's
Okay.
so much more pronounced. See what I mean?
The 14's almost non-existent.
Yeah, the 14 is very thin in its smell.
The 17, so the 12 is probably the most aromatic.
Yes. So that's interesting.
It is. But again, if you are wandering the aisles of your local liquor store and you're looking for a bottle of scotch to enjoy amongst a special group of people who don't like peat and they have a very distinguished taste, I honestly, I'm thinking Balvenie 17 is probably one of the better choices you could make. I would highly recommend that. There's many others that I would recommend, but out of this particular line, the 17 would be that go-to.
Yeah. 17's amazing. Balvenie. Well done, everybody at the distillery of Balvenie. A fine Speyside. Wow. You even made a believer out of this Highland lover here, so that's something quite impressive. And Tony, as I've known to say around.
Go ahead.
All that being said, this has been our review of the Balvenie single malt Scotch line Speysides. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner in inebriation,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe. Big Bucket Entertainment. Phil K.O.E., K.O.E. Nation on YouTube. Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. The Dog and Chicken Show. We're everywhere, folks. But specifically, you want the high quality input on your high dollar spirits, and let's face it, even some of the less high dollar, you stay right here. You stay right here because we got a lot of great content coming up for you.
Thank you much, T. And folks, please stick around. There's a lot more to come.